Hello guys, sorry if there isn't going to be any visuals in this video, but I would like to talk about a Braille speaks or something similar to it. Well, actually not similar, but the Braille displays that are functioning like note takers. There's actually one out there now called the Chameleon. Even though it's for kids, I still like it, because it's the only sub $2,000 note taker out there. It's like $1,500, but hey, if it'll give you speech output, then it'll give you speech output. Now there's one Braille Notetaker / Braille display that I personally would like to see, and that is basically a note taker that literally does it all. Has a speech synthesizer that only works with headphones, that has either a 20 or 40 cell Braille display. 20 or 40 cell Braille strip, or whatever. 20 or 40 cell strip, and a Perkins style keyboard. Is there something that kind of fits this description? Unless you count the Braille Edge 40, which does not have a speech synthesizer, but has sounds that's not even close to it. Braille Edge 40 is a HIMS product, and it's basically like a Braille Sense Lite, if you think about it. Also, if you think about the Brailliant, I think of it as a Braille Note Lite. But then again, the Voice Note kind of has that same, it has that same vibe of a Braille Note, just without the display. Now there's another note taker like that, and that's the Braille Speak, which I reviewed about a few different times on this channel. Got this back in July of 2020, and it doesn't work anymore. However, I hope to get a newer product to look at somehow, because looking at old products is nice until they run out of times you can use them. For me, I actually was lucky to actually have a Braille and Speak and use it for about 6 months. Not even 6 months, a little over 5.5 months. Yeah, a little over 5.5 months. And yeah, it was cool while it lasted. But anyways, I don't know what the heck I'm gonna do for the rest of this video. I could talk about the fact that there are note takers that have been around since the 1980s. Although I'm pretty sure a few different blind people know that. But the Braille Note lineup started in 2000. I'm not sure when the Braille Sense started, but it's a classic thing. I guess. But then there's a note taker that also is a cell phone, which is kind of cool. And it's the Braille Plus. Never got a chance to look at that before at all. I saw one on eBay in an open box with Android app support, although it was kind of expensive, so I didn't even bother. Plus, open box sometimes means used, so that was the only time I came across a Braille Plus from APH. Does that mean they don't have any more out there on eBay? Well, I'm pretty sure they do, but just gotta wait till they come. That's why eBay has a thing that says, save this search so you can get alerts. I'm sorry if there's music in the background, but I sure hope I don't get copyrighted for this, but I'm trying to talk over the music because I don't even know why I'm doing this. But anyways, I did also run across an older note taker called the Braille Light 40, also a sister product of the Braille and Speak. And I don't have it either. That was actually $500 used, mind you. By the way, that Braille Plus was like $700, I think. Somewhere around $649 or $700. And I doubt it's still around. It probably isn't. But then, you know, they had a Braille Note Apex out there for like $1,000. Open box doesn't mean that it's pre-owned, and it doesn't mean that it's new. It's probably been opened but never used. But then I was actually lucky to get that Braille and Speak last year because I don't know what I'm going to get lucky with getting this year, but it probably could be cool. I don't even know what I'm going to do because this Braille and Speak is completely, and I mean completely, out of date. That's what happens when I try and find an old unit from 1992, and that's exactly when that was made. 1992. Almost a 30-year-old unit, and yet we're in the year 2021. It's almost about 29 years old. The software, however, hasn't been updated in 22 years. Yeah, that's right. It's newer than the original Braille and Speak, that's for sure. The original Braille and Speak wouldn't even go past the year 2000, mind you. The original Braille and Speak only went up to the year, well, I'm not sure if I think it went up to the year 1999, and then after that, you were stunk, or whatever, you were out of luck if you were to get more updates. The original Braille and Speak only lasted, like support-wise, like how long it would last you would have lasted you only 12 years. But the Braille and Speak Scholar, the original, lasted you from 1992 up until 2020, which was 28 years. That's a long time, actually. I don't mean software. I mean, like, I mean, not software, but firmware, not software. Because I think there's a difference. You can update it via a computer. I've been told you can update a Braille and Speak via the computer by using one of the not US, serial ports. I forgot they didn't have USB back in the early 1990s. They did have it in the late 1990s, although most computers didn't start having them until the late 1990s or early 2000s. USB was included on some Windows ME computers, but, well, maybe some Braille and Speak units. Heck, even the latest Braille and Speak unit, the Braille and Speak Scholar with double talk speech, which the September 2004 revision, or September 16th, 2004 revision, would not have USB either, I don't think. Because that was actually made in 1998, I believe, if I'm right. Because the Braille and Speak would actually have 6 years of updates. And then you can, I'm sorry about that music in the background, but you can probably tell that that unit is probably going to last for a little while, like maybe 2027 or 2028, something like that, maybe 30 or 35 years of complete guaranteed support. But the newer note takers started coming in, like the Braille Note, which started in 2000. It was made by Humanware, and it was, I'm not sure if it was the first note taker to have thumb keys or not, but some of the Braille displays, like the Focus lineup, have somewhat thumb keys. Although there are some newer ones that still have thumb keys, but the Braille Lite actually was one of the first Braille note takers to have it was one of the first to actually be with a Braille display, I think. But I don't think it had any of the crystal routing keys. It was an 18 cell, like the Braille Note. The Braille Note. There's an advanced bar, but that was about it in the way of like controlling the display, because there's an option in the options menu of a Braille Light 40. There's a newer Braille Light that ran the double talk, that had the double talk speech, just like the Braille and Speak. The Scholar, I don't think the Braille and Speak 2000 was I believe the latest regular Braille and Speak, which I think that, if I'm not mistaken, had 2006 software. Maybe. I don't know. I could be wrong on this. No one has an current Braille and Speak 2000 video out. There was a listing for 3 Braille and Speaks in one lot for like $80. One was a Scholar, but I already have one, so I didn't need another one. One of them probably was a 2000. Then again, one of them could have been the original. Who knows? I did see an original Braille and Speak on eBay, going for about at least $15 with a carrying case of all things. A game with a carrying case. Seriously. That's kind of odd, though. I was actually wanting to get that because that would have been so cool to have a over 30-year-old piece of equipment. But then again, I was thinking, you know, that wouldn't be that good. Because an old Braille and Speak from 1987 would not have been the best choice because it can only hold up to 30 files. The original one did. And that's not saying much since the original Braille and Speak only had one place where you can put files. It didn't have any other folders. The Braille and Speak 2000 did have the Braille and Speak 2000 was, I believe, the latest regular Braille and Speak. I'm not sure if it was made in the year 2000 or what, but if I can try and get that, then that would probably be the newest because they had two versions of the Scholar, which I have the original Scholar, and then there is the one with double talk speech, which this doesn't have double talk. I'll turn it on.
88 Scholar ready, calendar, BRL now open, option 2:50 a.m.
Yeah, this thing is off when it comes to the time, but yeah, that had the Blazy speech. Speech from Blazy Engineering. I hate that speech. I can't believe that there were a few different Notetaker products. Notetakers for the blind that had that. Heck, even the Braille and Speak 2000 had it. It was just the one with double talk was made was I believe released in 1998. So, if you want to know, there were some newer Notetakers out there, like the Hymns lineup.
Speech. Stop recording. Button. Speech off.
And then there was, oh wow, this thing's getting hot. Ooh, this thing's really getting hot. Then there are like the Braille, the Packmates from Freedom Scientific. That was one of their attempts at making a Notetaker. Well, manufacturing a Notetaker, I guess. Then they had another Notetaker in 2017 that, of course, had Windows 10 on it. It had the sounds of Windows 10, of course. I'm not sure what size it had, but probably wasn't that much. But then again, it was a Notetaker. What would you need a lot of stuff for? Because it only had like, what, one or two USB ports? And then it was controlled on top of that by a Focus 14 Braille display. And everything showed up on the Braille display like it wasn't a complete Notetaker. Like it would have JAWS. It would have JAWS. And I wish I had that actually so I could review it because it would be kind of cool. But then I'm not sure how it would update. But then again, you know, it has the same things as like, it does run Windows, to tell you the truth, it does. But then there were other note takers that ran like Windows CE of all things. I went through the information of a Braille note at one point and found out that it had some sort of Windows CE operating system or whatever it was. But yeah, that's kind of weird because Windows CE was used like in the 1990s. And it was like modified. And now that Humanware's gotten on the tablet bandwagon and made their own Notetaker / tablet, the Braille Note Touch. It's kind of weird because they had the Braille Note Touch and now they have the Braille Note Touch Plus. What's next? The Braille Note Touch Mini? I'd like to see that. But then again, the Braille Note Touch has a 7-inch screen, so are they going to make a Braille Note Touch Deluxe then? Because that would be kind of cool. Anyways, it's kind of the end of my video. See you guys for part 2.